I take the muslin, so I need to drape the sloper. So I take the length, like extra 2 inches from what the form is, and I tear the muslin. In the width, from the center front to side, I take like this extra 2 inches, and because this is the widest part of the body, so I tear the muslin. Now, when you tear the muslin, you have to block it. Blocking means that the warp and weft to be perpendicular to each other. Everybody knows warp and weft, right? Of the weave of the fabric. So I can see that it's not, I can see it. So you just take this and stretch it this way, stretch it this way, and then you check it on the table to make sure they are perfect rectangular. So let's check this on the table. I may need to press this. See, it's a little bit, it's a slightly bit off. See? See how off it is, right? So I'm gonna do it. And this is a very good quality muslin. This is the muslin that we specially order, and Joann's muslins are not good. All due respect, we like Joann's, but this is called like torquing problem. You've seen the fabrics, actually, when you have any fabric, test it, because sometimes some fabrics are so bad with the torquing problem. So this is a bad, it's like quality is not good of the fabric. Now this is a salvage of the fabric. Just always cut a little, slash a little bit like this, because sometimes the salvage is holding. So let me go and press it now. I drew the line parallel to the warp or the salvage just for the center front, okay? So now I'm gonna pin this, but I'm not gonna pin here because I have to take in consideration that this is supposed to be draped from the shoulder, but I still like to pin center front first. So here, I'm gonna lift this up to see how much I need so that I reach shoulder like this, roughly, okay? And I'm gonna pin the center front. Now, this lady is not wearing a bra. You know, when you wear a bra, you have like a little breach from here to here. So I can just take a little tear of the muslin. And then I like to put like this, to like have her wear bra. But if I'm draping something low cut, then it's a different story. So we're just doing a basic. Okay, so let's go back to the center front, like this. Okay, after I drape the center front, I'm gonna go to the shoulder. But when I get to the shoulder, I need to, like this doesn't allow me, so I can slash like this. Terrible scissors. Anybody have better scissors?
Probably.
This is a paper scissors.
Well,
Thank you. It doesn't matter. Thank you. Oh, great. See?
Can I
See?
hear it?
Relaxed. Like this. And I can do like this. Okay. The draping is like a sculpting. You know, you just push this little bit like this, push this up like this, and find the shoulder, right? And then see it nicely like this. And you can push pin like this. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace where the seam is on the,
Is that just a pencil?
it just depends.
Regular pencil, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I can do later, I'll use the marker, but now for work. And then I'm gonna follow the seam on this dress form. Seams, I'm just doing this roughly, seams on the dress form, and shoulder seam doesn't necessarily is our shoulder, and I'll talk about it later, okay? But because I need to cut this excess fabric. No. Okay, so now here, I'm just gonna push here. So now this is a little bit more advanced draping. What I do is the dress forms don't have the bone that we have here, right? Mm-hmm. So I allow a little extra here for the bone. Some people don't have extra, and we'll learn about the neck balance later, how to balance the back and front neck. But I will not go exactly like this. So I'm just gonna allow like a pinch. Pinch is like the 1/8 pinch is this. So pretend I have this, what's this bone called? Collarbone? Yeah. See how this comes out? You see that how it affected the neck width. Neck was here, now it's a little wider. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? So if somebody have more projection, its neck width has to be wider. If you're flat here, need to be, because I had the client kept telling everything's super too much here, and I don't know why, and that's because she's hollow here, and some people have an opposite problem. So we learned this at the fitting class, how to balance front and back neckline so they have balanced it well. Okay, so here you go. So you can see the effect, okay? So now here, dress form is very shallow here. So I pinch a little bit here because there's some meat right there. Like this. That's why like understanding human body is important. So let's take this, and I can just roughly cut this. And there's no, you will never find as detailed and thorough draping online as I do. Because when I see it's just like a butcher's, you know. And to me, fashion design, pattern making is very delicate, it's like a jewelry. Okay. Okay, so this is now, sometimes, you know, like it's good to put like a cross grain lines too to help you, like a straight grain and cross grain, so that you have like a balancing the drape well. But I can just see this here, like this is my cross grain, it's perpendicular to this, right? Okay. So now see this, what happens? If I just do this is like a hiking, extra fabric. So what I need to do is that simple. Oh, see how it does? The boss dart is creating, and so if you go too much, it's a problem. If you go too little, so when you create a boss dart, you have to think of this to be straight, because we're gonna create two darts. One here and one here. Guys, in the books, it's like that Armstrong book, that a pattern making book has this one dart, and that's how I learned at FIT. You never use that. It's too deep of a dart. If you see in the patterns have like dart like this, and how often I'm gonna use that kind of pattern. This is a sloper in the books. Boom! Yeah. Huge dart, right? You see that in the books. Yeah. You never using that kind of dart, and it just doesn't look attractive. Like I said before, minimum dart and distributing from different places is always better than just one deep dart. And all this.
And they said, here, let's put a dart in it. Good.
Yeah.
No.
And even this all creates extra fullness from different places, you know. So I am teaching you upscale. I'm not teaching you, you know, H&M. Okay. So now what I did is here, and also it can help you to see this across line. So this has to be straight. See what I mean? Like, let's look at this line. Let's look at this line. Boom. See what I mean? This straight. And that's your dart. What you can do is you can just push it here like this, and this tells you how much excess we have. And then I'm gonna fold this like this. Okay, perfect. Now in the draping, this is perfect, this is perfect, this is perfect. In the draping, the pins go perpendicular to the fold. Professional draping. Like this. You pinch a tiny bit. Let's bring it closer. Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. And then you do like this. So if I had the interviewing some draper, I would see how she applies and how she holds the pin. You can see this person is experienced or not. About 1 inch away and practice this. See, just an 8 like this and 1 inch away. That's how it works. So now I will, this is my side. See, even if it's not, it just stands already. You know what I mean? It just have to be straight across. So you can practice this, how you do it. Okay? And don't do too deep of a dart. And because if actually this was a very good example that this is supposed to stay straight. Okay, fine. Now I'll create, because what happens is this bust creates excess here. It pushes the fabric this way, right? So now we're gonna close this dart, and when you close the darts, pin it towards the center front. Now let me tell you a little bit about the apex points. Apex point is this called apex. So apex is most projected area of the bust. And a size 8 apex is normally at 8 inch apart. You know, like that 436 inch bust, apex apart is normally 8 inches. And let's see if that's 8 inches. Yes, it is. Don't go by seam, just go by the look. You know, they can put seams anyway. So what I'll do is I'm gonna mark the apex point from here to here, where it's supposed to be. This is my apex point. Now, the apex from the high point of shoulder on this dress form is normally high. So she's very young, you know? So, and this is how I measure apex points, where they are, like over this and from here to here. So this one is, oh, I don't think that's too high. 27 is not too bad. 27, and then you can compare yours. Where are you? You know, I'm like 27 and a half, and also depends what bra you're wearing, right? That's okay. So we can always, when you drape on this, you can always lower the dart to match that apex point of your person. So this apex is at 27. This way I'll say standard dress form 27 apex. And 8 inch apart. This is all good. I mean, this is good. This is 27 to 27 and a half is normal. Okay, so I will aim my dart towards that apex. And when you make your dart, just stop about 1.5 inches from apex, because you can go directly to the apex, right? 1.5 inches away to 1.75 inches away would be somewhere here. So we need this when we transfer this to the paper. Now this here, now that's why I needed this, because I have to point my dart towards the apex. You know, I'm not gonna put it here, it's not gonna make sense, right? So I'm gonna have to towards the apex. Okay, I need to face this, sorry. This way is hard, otherwise you're gonna see my head. That's why
Alright.
I'm having a little trouble. So I'm just gonna pin it and then I'll show you. So now the dart from center front here, if I'm doing that as like creating a skirt below or something, I have to be very conscientious of where my dart is here. So if the waist is 29, so 29 divide into 8, not 4, because this is 1/8 of a total circumference. And see what we're gonna get. 29 divide into 4 and divide into 4 again. I'm sorry, 29 divide by 8. I'm getting 3 5/8. So 3 5/8 to 3 3/4 is the right placement for the dart from the waist. Okay? Divide by 8 total circumference that you want. Let's see. Oh my God, exactly. See? Okay, beautiful. Now I'm going to push pins the side seams. In this one here, the body curves out, so you need to just slash, open, see? Like this, you know, because we're doing a body sloper. And I will teach you later how to change the body sloper to the shirt, like this, coming down. So it's gonna be a different dart depth here. It's a slightly different. I lost my pencil though. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm gonna mark where this waist seam is, like this, and this. I can also mark here, but later on we are going to increase the waist. That's okay to fit it exactly. So I'm teaching you how to drape exactly. Now we get to the armhole. We can get to the armhole after we drape the back, or we can do the armhole now, a front armhole and back armhole later. It doesn't matter, okay? Sometimes this order doesn't make a difference. But I like to remove all this fabric and make it clean, so I'm gonna do the armhole. So this is how we calculate the armhole, how we draw the armhole. So in order to draw the armhole, it's important to know a cross shoulder desired, and then there's a formula I developed how to do a cross back and a cross front based on a cross shoulder. So the style that has a sleeve, regular sleeve, we need to do the set-in sleeve. You know what set-in sleeve means, right? Set-in sleeve is this, where this armhole is at the highest point of the armhole. It's called AH. You know, there's an abbreviation, armhole. And this is called high point of shoulder, and this is called high point of armhole. So we're doing something that is going to have a sleeve later. But you can take the sloper and take the sleeveless and do like raise the back and do the, you know, anything you want to do. We're just gonna do regular. So now we also need for this a cross shoulder measurement of our model. A cross shoulder for size 8 is considered to be 15 3/4. Everyone's got different shoulder, you know, like. And another thing is also when you are creating sloper, important to know shoulder slope. Some people are more sloped, some people are less sloped, right? So this dress form has a nice slope. It's not too sloped and not too straight. And you know, like see, we're kind of close, right? So I will go by this, but if I am doing it for customer, I will always look at this person's angle of the slope. Or if I have a shoulder pad in, then I have to make it straighter because shoulder pad makes it less sloped. Okay, if I tell you make the sloper less slope, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go up or down? Up. Great. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna follow the slope. And another thing, like I described before, the dress forms are like boom, boom, very defined. We people have more like curve right here. So we don't have this kind of very defined shape, and we'll take that in consideration when we do the transferring to the paper. Now, let's do 15 3/4 cross shoulder. Let's see what the cross shoulder is on the form. So this is 15 1/4. So I'm gonna write down here for me standard cross shoulder. I want 15 3/4. And this one, dress form, is 15 1/4. That's okay, I can work with that. Okay, so 15 3/4 divide into half is 8 3/4, right? Okay, 7 3/4, sorry. 7 3/4 is right here. Right here, okay? So now, since I'm doing a front, then I'm gonna do cross front. So this is the formula I developed, and it works most of the time. So if the shoulder for the setting sleeve is 15 3/4, cross back supposed to be 1/2 inch less. So cross back will be 15 1/4, and the cross front supposed to be 2 1/4 to 2 inch less than a cross shoulder. So 15 3/4 minus 2, it's 13 3/4, extra quarter, 13 1/2. Okay, 2 1/4 is better number, okay? So that gives me that ankle shape that I want, and you'll see why. So now we can also do 15 1/2. Let me show you how I measure cross shoulder. Come here, please. Okay,
That's right.
yeah. So cross shoulder is, this is the bone to bone, right here, right? Here, her cross shoulder is 14 3/4, perfect size, small, you know? So my cross shoulder, measure me, you're gonna measure me. Another thing, like since we have her here, see how she's straight? She's more straighter than, you know, sometimes people have also different angle, left and right. Okay,
Yeah,
you measure me, you measure me.
Sure.
Bone to bone here.
Okay. Is that the correct one?
Yeah.
I think it is 7.
Oh, no, something's wrong. Okay, why don't you come?
Okay.
So you are more like a medium, but your cross shoulder is smaller. Here, she's only 14 1/4, so she's narrow shoulder. You know, everyone's different. So you come here, you're gonna be 16 probably. Yeah, 16 1/2, see?
Oh,
See
that's
how
a good guess.
everybody's different, right? Okay. So, you know, like industry standard 15 1/2, we can do 15 1/2. Okay, easier to drape, okay? 15 1/2 is gonna be 7 3/4 here, and 15 1/2 minus 2 1/4 is 13 1/4. 13 1/4 divided in half is 6 5/8, and cross front is somewhere in between, middle. So I usually do like 5 inch below shoulder seam, like here. This is the cross front, right? Okay, 6 5/8 is right here. So I'm just gonna put like this seam, like this, okay? This is gonna help me to curve. Now, the way I do the draping, I do for size 8, I have a little trick, like little thing that over the years I figured out that armhole depth, I measure like this when I drape, like this. So armhole depth for size 8 is about 6 1/4 to 6 1/2, here to here. And you will learn this if I have a dress form and I created a style, I checked on the model and I put it back on the dress form and I see where that line is. You know what I mean? But when you drape something, just give a 2-finger down your armpit, like right, like 2 fingers, like here. You don't want to go too high. You don't want to go too low because too low it restricts the lift. Okay, high armhole gives a nice lift, but you also don't want to be too high. Okay, so let's agree on 6 1/4 straight line. Okay, here like this. And now I have this point, and this point. I can just, I'm gonna take a marker and create nice curve, but I'm just gonna cut this extra right now. Okay, so I blocked the muslin now, like this, and this way, and I check to make sure it's square, like this, right? It's perfect. This is a very good muslin, see? And now I'm gonna draw the grain line. It goes through the warp, no problem. See? So this is parallel to the edge. You can tell it's parallel. Now, since I have it here, I would like to also draw the cross grains, but cross grains may be hard. I don't think that works. I just need 2-inch ruler to draw the cross grain. Hold on. Thank you. So I'm just gonna use this few places so that you can see when we drape, you can see this. Okay, now I like to do this center back on the flat, not on the form, because forms are never perfect. Okay, so this is my blade. Let's say this is my neck. 2-inch below is my neck. Now 4-inch below is my blade. 1, 2, 3, 4-inch below neck is my blade level. Blade. Now from center back to here, about like where the waist is, I know on the form it's about 15 1/2. So 1 second, this is how you measure. Where her waist is, about 15 1/2. We can double check later, I don't want to move it. So I'm gonna do 15 1/2, approximate waist level. Okay, so, and this is my grain line. So let me do the grain line here. Okay, so now the neckline from the blade level, I suggest you start from the blade level and go in 1/8 to the neckline. 1/8, like this. This is for my curve for the ladies. From the blade level to the waist, go in 1/4. So this sloper have a seam. So somewhere here below 0, like this. So give 1/4 angle from here. And this is my center back. Okay, not too much curve, just enough, to, match this person. I know we have a lot more curve, but we're gonna create more shape from the darts. And now I'm ready to take it and drape, okay? Okay, so now we can start. Did you start recording?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna pin the center back first. Here is my center back, like this, and here is my center back, like this. See, this ended up a little past this, but that's good. I don't care. Oh, we were exactly 15 and a half, I remember. See, that's perfect, okay? So now this will help us to do this angle, because if this is not pinned first, angle may not work. So this is good. And I'm gonna slash again for the neckline here and here, like this. Uh-oh. I'm wearing too many bracelets.
Here, scoot it down a little bit so it doesn't fall off.
Okay, thank you. Okay, great. This is good pins. These are very nice and thin pins.
You're so
A lot better than mine, see? I know. And its draping is also better with this pins. So now see, I just pushed it same way as I did. I don't need to do any pinching in the back. Like this and like this. And then I'm just gonna cut this excess. Okay, there is one thing that I do. I don't follow this. I actually put a little line where the shoulder seam is supposed to be, because if we follow this, it's too much towards back. That, from my observation. And you learn your form later. You'll know more, you know. So I have this here. Even though I put here, I'm gonna pin the back shoulder over front shoulder, and I will do a guideline here. So I want to make sure I can see, because I'm going to pin back shoulder over front shoulder. So I need this to be seen. Okay, so this goes like this. Okay, we are here, right? So I'm just going to fold this over like this, over the front. And then I'm going to pin this way, same way I did for the, see here. But I want to show you something. See this here, it pops out like this. It's because of the blade shape. It's like a bust, you know, it has a shape. So you either have to create a dart here or yoke here. It does the same purpose. Why men's shirts have yokes here? It's because there's a hidden dart in there. Because like I told you, men have more back. So for the more back, you need a dart. And that's what you do. And that's why my jackets have a dart here, because to give that blade shape. Otherwise, it's gonna pop out here like this and collapse here. And it's not gonna fit perfect. So I do 3/8 darts on my slopers, 3/8 on the open. Sometimes you refer to the darts as close measurements or open measurement. Just clarify, you know, how you were saying about the dart. 3/8 on open. Okay, so 3/8 on open will be somewhere here, like this and this, 3/8. See, like this. And how long do I need this? I need about 2.5. That's enough. Like this and this. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm gonna pin this dart. See, now it's so clean, right?
Nice.
Perfect. So now I need to create this angle for the shoulder seam, which is here. This is a little messy. Don't worry, we'll fix it. Because of the dart, too much fabric. Okay, that's good enough. Now I'm gonna do a cross shoulder. Here is this, right? So now I'm gonna do this, like, see this angle? So I'm gonna match this seam of the neckline here. So I can cut this neckline. Okay, cut this, cut this, cut this, cut this. Like this and like this. Now we're ready to define neckline better because no person have this neck so tight. If you're doing a turtleneck like this, knits, you can do that because knit turtlenecks are really high and you can, but if you were doing a woven style, we need to give at least 1/4 away from the dress form, okay? So here is the marker and I'll do 1/4 away, minimum 1/4, and you're gonna see even that 1/4 is gonna be too high. Beautiful. So you can just shape it nicely. If you want to do lower, you can do lower, but let's do it here. Okay? So now, you know, I like to put this like this because when I transfer to the paper, I need those lines. See this?
Okay, I see that.
Like this, like this, like this. See, and I also put some sort of notches so that they don't shift it.
Okay.
More better. Because you don't want to redrape again. You want to make sure you transfer everything. See what I mean? Perfect. Okay, now let's do the back armhole. Again, the cross shoulder is here. We have the cross shoulder mark here and here, remember? Now cross back, this was 15.5. So cross back is gonna be 15 from here to here, which is gonna be right here. 7.5. Okay, here. And then from here to here, we're just gonna line like this. And now I'm ready to do the side seam and the back dart. I think we should do back dart first. Okay, now this is a little too long for us. This is like, let's say, since we're here, I can show you something. Like when there's a dart here, then see it disappears at the bottom because it's a butt comes out more, right? But we're just gonna cut it like somewhere here.
You guys are all scaring me.
Okay, now mark, now the back dart, it starts about 1 inch below armhole. Like this is the armhole level, right? So I'm gonna, if this is the armhole level, I'll do right here, like from this level. Okay, 1 inch below armhole level is here. Now the back dart position, we can do same, divide by 8 waist, right? Let's do 3 5/8. I think it's a little too close. Let's do divide by 8 minus 1/4. Okay, that's my formula for the back dart position. Back dart position would be 3 3/8 right here. Now this back dart, let's do 1 inch deep. So 1 inch deep is here. And then the middle of the dart is supposed to be straight line. See what I mean? Like this. For front is not. Front can be angled, but back dart fold have to be on the grain. And wherever ends up, we don't care. We don't have like apex here. Wherever it ends up here, from the waist up, that's gonna be the point, okay? So now I'm going to close this dart with this very nice pins. Always fold towards the center back.
You mean that the fold is going towards
Center back, center front, yeah.
okay.
This is so easy to work with these pins. I don't have to go all the way up. I'm just gonna need this one to finish here, okay? So now I am done here, and then I am going to join them like this. I don't need to overlap or something. Now, another thing I want to tell you, these seams on the dress forms are a little too much towards back. So what I do is I do my front chest 1.5 inches wider than the back chest. in the mass for the slopers. So we got to do a little mass calculation right now, and that's a little tricky. So if this is 39,
How much more did you say?
1.5 wider. Why don't you stay, Naomi? Where are you? Missing all the fun, class. Come on. Oh, I can't reach myself.
You're right.
Okay, so math calculation is this. So if the front, if the chest is 36, right? 36 divide by 4, just tell me quickly. 18 divided by 9, thank you, 9. Okay, so if I want this 1.5 wider in the front, 1.5 divided by 4 is 3/8, right? 3/8. So 9 plus 3/8 is 9 and 3/8, and 9 minus 3/8 is 8 and 5/8. So this times 2, is it too complicated? You can do all sorts of different ways. Just like end result, I want the front chest from side seam to side seam to be 1.5 wider than the back chest, okay? So this is 18 3/4, and this times 2 is 16, 17 1/4, and the difference is, voila, 1.5 inches. Okay? That's one way to calculate. There's different ways to calculate this too. So that means that my front chest needs to be 9 and the back chest needs to be 8 and 5/8. So let's see where we end up. Okay, so 9 and 3/8, I'm gonna measure. 9 and 3/8 is here. Oh, pretty close. Anyway, we can also adjust this on the, so I just checked, it's pretty close. So I'm just gonna drape it and we're gonna adjust on the paper. So I'll write down here 9 and 3/8 and 8 and 7/8. Okay, so now I'm ready to join them like this, like this. See, like just like this, simple. Okay, so now I can cut this. Now you guys are, you can tell me if you want to next class to drape here with my supervision, we can do that.
Yes, please. That sounds good.
Okay,
Or
if you
some
feel,
another time when you're gonna
yeah,
be here.
because we have 3 forms, and you can do men's form if you want, or you can do this one, size 4.
I can do this.
You know, okay, we'll do that. Okay, okay. So here now, this is what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna refine the armhole, make it beautiful. Here, like go like about 3/4 straight line, because the armhole need to be very smooth and U-shape, right? This. So if you go 3/4 and you join with this one, there's a rulers, armhole curves. Hold on 1 second. This can help you. This is not the best armhole curve, but this can help you. See what I mean?
See, yeah.
Like this, like there's a better ones. I gave you the list, right? Everybody's got. Okay, so here, beautiful. See? That's what I want. These need to be scooped to move arms forward. A lot of time you see it's restrictive. Naomi, your dress need to be scooped forward. Okay, here. And now from here, I'm just gonna do almost straight here. And you have to remember, we're moving arms forward. You don't need to scoop back, but it has to be a smooth transition. So I'm gonna do like this. See what I mean? Like this. So from here it goes out. See what I mean? Because we're moving our arms forward. And now I can cut this and look at the shape. My suggestion is you struggle on your own first. This is how you learn, you know, like, right? Make mistakes and stuff. And then for the next class, I'm gonna send a questionnaire, say, do you wanna drape at the class or do you wanna continue, okay? And whatever majority decides. My goal is like teach as much as possible for these classes, you know, and move as fast as possible and cover as much topics. But if you feel like you want to stop and focus on this, because this is also very important. Draping class is like whole 5 semesters in FIT.
But it's like you said, I really struggle to find like good videos online. You
No,
can't
there's no
find
good
them.
videos. No good videos. And I don't want to just put a free video, you know, like what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a video subscription on DDI website.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I've seen some terrible videos. But what they do is they want to get some sponsors to do the advertising if you have more views. And that's how they want to make money. But that's not my field. I want to teach people right information. I don't care about like yogurt to advertise.
That's funny.
Okay, so now is this. Okay, so this is, we just marked the waistline, and the waist, we can see like there's some things that sometimes I always have to shorten and lengthen the front for some reason, but we're gonna see this on. So I don't mind to model size 8 because we don't have anybody's close size 8. I don't mind to model this one. Unless you bring somebody, or what I also like to do is when you drape, you change it to your size. You know, like you are pretty close. You can easily drape to this one and adjust to your size. You can use this one and reduce a little. You know, we have forms for everybody. Okay. So now is the moment when I have to take this down and show you how to transfer this to the paper. But first, we need to clean up and do the photo shoot. So this is first time I'm teaching them draping my classes. Previous classes, I think other kids gonna be so jealous.
I bet.
But we achieved, like everybody made some shirts, dresses, and everything, whichever the way I taught them. Because there's a lot you can learn during fitting classes. Okay, here you go.